Well, hello everybody, this is Darren from In a Darkened Room, and I'm going to do a real quick video showing off a few of my collector's items that I have. And this is a room in my house, and I'm sure a lot of you can relate to this. You probably have that one room in your house where you just put a bunch of your stuff in. And I have like 4 rooms like that, but what happens is I collect stuff. They come to this room first. I organize them, and then I assimilate them into other areas of the house in order, because I'm OCD like that. And I won't even turn the camera around and show you the rest of the room, because it's kind of scary. But there's a lot of stuff in this room. Some CDs. Over there is a DX7 original Yamaha keyboard. So just a bunch of fun stuff in here. But I wanted to talk about a few things that I mentioned or didn't mention in some of the more recent episodes that we did on In a Darkened Room. One was when we were talking about our top 10 albums of all time. I did not mention this right here, but this is an album that I love, and this is my friend Rosetta. Now, Rosetta released this album right here called Where's My Hero in 1980, and was never released on CD, and so I remastered it on my own and sent Rosetta a copy after I met her online. And she said, hey, you're hired. And she hired me to remaster this along with her catalog of demos and all kinds of stuff. So it was a lot of fun, and she's a great person. And this album, Where's My Hero, is a fantastic record. It has a lineup of musicians like you wouldn't believe. And it was in 1980, so a lot of them weren't really well known at that point. But Vinnie Colaiuta plays drums on it. Tim Landers plays bass. Philippe, incredible keyboard players on this, and it was produced by Eddie Offord, who had produced albums by Yes and Emerson, Lake and Palmer and Billy Squier, and also Blackjack, which we'll get to in a second. And it also had guitars played by David Sanchez from the E Street Band, as well as Bruce Kulick, who wound up in Kiss and Grand Funk Railroad and all that. And I kind of got to know Bruce a little bit. I'd met him before many years ago, but through Rosetta, I got to know him a little bit better. He's a fantastic person, great guy. He got me backstage at a Grand Funk Railroad show. Couldn't have been any nicer. If you see this out in the wild, it's definitely worth checking out. I absolutely love it. Listen to the song Voodoo. Great song. A lot of this is great. Pick Me Up is a song that was co-written by Bruce Kulick. Very cool stuff. Rosetta. All right. Also, when speaking of Bruce Kulick, this right here, I wanted to show this where you can see this a little bit better. This is my autograph of Blackjack, Worlds Apart. This was, I think, my number 6 all-time favorite album. But you'll see Michael Bolton has signed this, as well as Bruce Kulick. I got to get the other two. I'm supposed to hang out with Sandy Gennaro, who lives in Nashville now. And also, Bruce gave me this pick at a KISS convention way back in the 90s, so that's cool. Bruce, very cool guy. He also signed this for me, as well as Michael Bolton. And he played on this album, Everybody's Crazy, produced by Neil Kernan, who's also a friend of mine. And my mom actually knew Michael's road manager in the 80s. And so my late great mom, who passed away in 2018, actually got this autograph for me, as well as on the Blackjack by Michael. But then I met Bruce in person, and he signed the other stuff for me. So that's very cool. I got this from Sandy Gennaro, the drummer from Blackjack, which is really cool. This is a photo of a video that Blackjack made for Without Your Love back in 1979. So you're talking about, this is pre-MTV. And this is a great photo shot of Michael Bolton and Sandy Gennaro on drums, and Bruce over here on guitar. Very cool. I actually sent Bruce a copy of this a while back. Great photo. So that's cool. And then, of course, I can't do one of these without showing off a couple of Glen Campbell pieces, because, you know, Glen is my all-time favorite artist. So I wanted to show you some of his rare 45s. I've got this right here, which is Death Valley, which is one of his earliest, if not the earliest single that he ever released. Very cool. From the late 50s, I believe. This is awesome right here. This is a song. See, Glen had filled in on bass guitar for the Beach Boys once when Brian was sick and couldn't tour. So as a gift, Brian Wilson gave him this song right here called Guess I'm Dumb. And it's a great song if you've never heard it. It's really, really cool. And the B-side to this is also excellent as well. It's called That's All Right. Very hard to find this 45 right here. So that's cool. And then this, unfortunately, I don't have an original of this song. Probably the hardest song to find on 45 by Glen Campbell is called Buzzsaw, when he was in this band called the GCs. We're talking the early 60s here. Now, this is a remake, or a reissue, I should say. It's still pretty cool. It sounds great. But I'm still looking for the original version of Buzzsaw, the 45. So if you have one in mint condition, holler at your boy. I've had plenty of people that have tried to sell me some, but they're just not in good shape. And if I'm gonna spend a couple of $100 or whatever, I want it to be mint condition, if you know what I mean. But those are probably the top three rarest 45s by Glen Campbell, to my knowledge. I could be wrong. There's people that know way more than me, but thought I would show you those. And then finally, last but certainly not least, my favorite album of all time, as I mentioned in the episode, is Steely Dan, The Royal Scam. And I got this on eBay several years ago, and it does have a certificate of authenticity. This right here, my friends, is an autographed copy of The Royal Scam, autographed by two of my biggest heroes ever, Donald Fagen and Walter Becker. I hope you can see that. I know it's kind of hard to find, or see rather. But this is one of my prized possessions in life right now, especially since Walter's no longer with us. Rest in peace. All right, so that's cool. And then one other thing I wanted to show you just real fast, I'm taking enough of your time up, is, let me find this here. In one of the CD anniversary episodes, we talked about these things called Target CDs. And right here is one of the rarest Targets of all time. So first of all, this one's not as rare. This is the Led Zeppelin 4 Target CD right there. That's from West Germany. But I have the ultra rare Target CD from Japan, which is this guy right here. Very cool. Love the way that looks. Love that design. So I thought I would show you a few of those things. A lot of this collector nerd stuff we won't cover too much in episodes. So that's why we do these little quick takes and show you some of this stuff. So anyway, thank you for visiting at my house here. We'll probably have more videos from this room going forward, and maybe other places in my house. I collect a lot of crazy stuff, all things music related, vintage audio stuff, instruments, all that kind of nerd stuff. So maybe I'll do some more quick take videos down the road. But our episode coming up, if you hadn't caught the one that we just posted today, it is our favorite albums of all time. Later this week, we have an amazing, I think, Halloween episode. So continue to check the videos out, like them, subscribe if you haven't, tell your friends about us. Thanks everybody. We'll see you real soon, okay?